All right, second project for today. Gonna be working on the 34. What I actually did was took off the front bumper and I decided to paint the lower lip. And this is just with regular flat black spray paint. But like I said, the longer I keep this crazy car, the more I'm gonna start doing things to it, and keeping up with that tradition. Let me just close the gate. Okay, so the most restrictive thing in any stock Skyline is the exhaust downpipes, or dump tube as they might call it. So I decided to pick this up, and I could have went with so many different brands. I wanted to try this one out. It's not really the best, but it's a hell lot better than what's in there now. There are no videos on these things. Probably because in the US the Skylines are so new. At least the 34 is new as of this January 2023. So let me see what I got. Okay, time for a little unboxing. Came with all the gaskets. How do you open this thing? Now, when I take off the stock downpipe, you'll see that that thing is hella restrictive. I don't even know why Nissan decided to make that kind of design. That's one of the most horriblest design I've ever seen. Horriblest? Is there such a word? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna jack up the car, warm it up, let it cool off. As it cools off, I'm gonna spray it with some penetrating lube, and that should kind of help a little. So let me jack the car up, warm it up, spray the penetrating lube, and I'll show you guys how I got this off. So now that the car is jacked up, first thing to do is take off the strut tower bar and the heat shield around the turbo. So time to get into that. So something that might help you a little, you might want to put a jack under the tire or under the lower control arm, and that is to stop the shock from falling all the way through. So once you do that, take off the strut tower, I would put those bolts back on to get everything back up. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Now that the strut tower bar is off, I lift up the lower control arms, put those nuts back on so the suspension would not droop. Next thing to do is take off the 10mm nuts for the heat shield. So let me take all those off and I'll be right back again. Okay, so I'm underneath the car. I'll show you the 3 bolts that I had to spray, and I'm going to spray them one more time. Okay, so now that those are sprayed, let it sit for about a minute or two. I already pre-soaked it last night, so it should be a little easier to come off. And the bolts in the back. All right, I'll be right back. Let me blast those off and see what we got. All right, since I fought with this thing to get the bolts off for the heat shield, the next thing to do is fight with the heat shield to take it out. That wasn't too bad. And now for the bolts that I have been soaking, and I've been spraying them periodically with the penetrating oil. I did blast off the 3 bolts on the bottom, so I blasting with the impact gun, loosened, tightened, loosened, tightened, loosened, tightened. Kept working it back and forth, kept spraying oil on it, and all three of them came off. They were rusted pretty bad. I'm gonna try these. Hopefully they won't snap. If they snap, then I'm in a lot of trouble. So I'll go slow, see what I can do, and I'll get back to you guys again in a little bit. Oh my God, 2.5 hours. I finally got the bolts off. These things are a nightmare, a total nightmare. I mean, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, but it's finally out. Now I need to fight to try to get the whole thing out. I think it's finally ready to come out. Oh, come on. Maybe not. I'll be right back. I think I finally got it. Holy cows, my nightmare is over. Let me get this thing cleaned up and I'll show you why I'm replacing it. I'll be right back again. All right, that was the worst thing I've ever had to take off of a car. It probably will snap on you. Some of the bolts will snap. The heat shield will probably break on you. But that's just the way it is. I don't know if you'll be able to get some of the bolts off of the turbo itself. They were extremely hard. I really don't know. Start the car up, heat it up and let it cool off. Spray some penetrating oil on. Start the car again. Let it warm up just a little. Spray penetrating oil, do whatever you gotta do. But this is the reason why I changed it. You see this little lump? So when the wastegate opens, all the exhaust gas hits right here. It hits there, slows the turbine down, and it won't spool as fast. It won't build as much. I don't know if it'll build enough boost, but it'll just slow everything down. Unlike the new system, there's this extra port here. So when the wastegate opens, the exhaust gas flows through here and dumps back into the exhaust system. All this makes it a lot more efficient, a lot better. Hopefully everything works out. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, let me wipe this thing down with some alcohol. All the threads, all the bolts, I'm gonna put anti-seize, and that should help everything go back together. So reverse process. If you guys made it this far, all you gotta do is put it back in, and that should be it. And in case you guys were wondering, yes, it does come with new exhaust studs on the bottom. The studs came with new bolts, and it came with all new gaskets. Okay, going back in should not be as bad, but it's not going to be fun. So nothing more to say as far as how to get it in. There's no secret. You just got to fight with it and try to get it in. So here I go. Finally done. Okay, just got to put everything back together and that should be it. Okay, well, it starts up really good. I don't hear any leaks, not really, so time for a test drive. Haha, success. Okay, so here we go for our test drive. So far, the only downside I can think of is that you will lose the heat shield. So because the new exhaust down pipe, dump pipe, whatever you want to call it, it does not have a provisions for a heat shield. You have to line the inside of the engine bay with whatever, I don't know, whatever you want. So that's the only downside. I'm gonna try and drive and see if I notice anything different, if it spools different, if there's any difference in feel. So far nothing. That's because we're just driving regular. It's not even in boost or anything. We're just driving down getting out of the streets over here. So once we get onto the main road, we'll notice some kind of difference, if any at all. Okay, let's go onto the main road and see if we notice any kind of difference. Still runs smooth. Okay, it's a totally different animal now. Wow, the roads are bumpy as heck. Okay, I say this is a win. I need to sell this car because I cannot spend any more money. Like I said, the longer I keep this thing, the more I'm gonna spend, the more I'm gonna buy things for this, which is good for the next person, but bad for me. Anyway, sun's in your guys' eyes, sorry. Okay, so the turbo spools a lot faster. Everything just comes on faster. It hits a little harder. This was a good thing. And like I said, this is just the eBay type ones. The one I'm gonna use for my car, I'm gonna keep, is probably gonna be a Tomei, or more than likely it'll be the Tomei, since that's the best one so far from what I can tell. Anyway, that is it for this project, guys. There's a lot more to come. I still have a ton more things. The blue 35 should be here in 14 days. Whoa, did you see that bird that just flew out the window? Well, that was really fun. The car feels really good, really smooth, really responsive. Feels a little spicy now. All right, well, I guess that's it for this project. I need to wait till next week to pick up the wheels and tires from Darrow and the lift kit for the truck, the Tacoma. Then I might think about working on the 4Runner. I got some other friends I need to work on their cars. Probably Jamie, we need to do something to his truck soon. So we got a ton more things. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. I shall check you guys out on my next project.